The Middle East is the birthplace of civilization. The very first human beings to build the modern world lived there. This means that the area holds a lot of ancient, mysterious secrets about the beginning of the human race. Over the past few years, scientists have discovered many ruins and artifacts in this area that will shock you. Some of them change our understanding of the origins of the very species. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the ancient wonders of the Middle East, the top 15 unexplained mysteries that will take you through some of the most monumental discoveries in the area. Mount Nemrut. The Nemrut dag faces are one of the most mysterious sculptures archaeologists have ever discovered. We know that the faces were used to surround a grave mound built by King Antiochus I of Commagene as a monument to himself. The mound itself is 50 feet tall, and the faces are some of the most incredible works of sculpture ever discovered in the region. Strangely, the body of Antiochus has never been recovered in the area despite years of excavation. No one knows where it is. Mount Nemrut has been the subject of many ancient Middle Eastern documentaries because of how mysterious it is. Do you think you'd ever visit Mount Nemrut? Let us know in the comments. Ebla, Syria, an ancient city in Syria, was destroyed around 2250 BC. However, remains from the city were recently discovered in the 20th century. These remains consist of enigmatic clay tablets inscribed with an unknown script. The advanced civilization, unknown language, and abrupt destruction of the city make it one of the most mysterious ruins scientists have ever discovered in the Middle East. Do you think we will be able to read the unknown scripts of Ebla? Ephesus, Turkey. Ephesus, an ancient Greek city in Turkey, is one of the most mysterious places in the world. This is due to its grand structures like the Temple of Artemis. The Temple of Artemis is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world and is one of the best evidence of ancient architecture. However, Ephesus was suddenly abandoned in the 15th century. Historians are yet to explain the sudden abandonment of the city, and Christian scholars are certain that the Gospel of John was written right there. Why do you think Ephesus was suddenly abandoned? Iraq. The ancient city of was mentioned many times in the Bible. Some may think it's a myth and that the city never existed. But that's a lie. The ruins of the city of today can be found in Iraq. The city was an important Sumerian city-state and dates back to 3800 BC. Astonishingly, used to be a coastal city, but thousands of years of coastline changes have effectively brought the city inland. One of the most important parts of the ruins of is somewhere called the Ziggurat of The temple, as magnificent as it looks, was built in the Bronze Age and is a perfect example of the prodigious skill of ancient architects in the Middle East. Do you think this is really the biblical city of Göbekli Tepe. Also known as Potbelly Hill, Göbekli Tepe is certainly one of the oldest places man has ever laid his head. The place was first populated in 9500 BC, which was just after human beings started farming. This means it's one of the best examples of what life looked like for the first agricultural men. The circular ruins and structures in the city are perhaps the oldest known megaliths. Many of the pillars in the ruins are decorated with anthropomorphic details, clothing, and sculptural reliefs of wild animals. This gives us a unique insight into the religious and ritual beliefs of humans of that age. Interestingly, researchers have now concluded that at its earliest point, the area was mostly used as a base for hunter-gatherers, not as a permanent residence. Till today, we don't know why these hunter-gatherers built these megalithic structures. Why do you think the hunter-gatherers built these megalithic structures? Hegra, Saudi Arabia. Hegra in Saudi Arabia is an interesting historical and archaeological site because of the 131 monumental rock-cut tombs. The mysterious thing about this site is that it has earned a reputation for being a cursed place. This is because Muslims believe that the place was cursed by God because of the idolatry of its former inhabitants. The cursed reputation is one the Saudi Arabian government has been trying hard to remove, but it's yet to find success in that arena. Do you think you are brave enough to visit Hegra in Saudi Arabia? Headless lamassu sculpture. A few weeks ago, archaeologists made a stunning discovery of an 18-ton limestone sculpture of a lamassu. The sculpture has been dated to the reign of the Assyrian king Sargon II, who ruled from 721 to 705 BC. The discovery was made in northern Iraq by a French-Iraqi team of archaeologists. The lamassus is a mythical creature with the head of a man, the body of a bull, and the wings of an eagle. The sculpture is a replica of a mythical creature that the Assyrians no doubt believed existed. It was carved from one piece of limestone and is currently missing a head. Interestingly, the head of the sculpture was cut off by looters in the 20th century. However, the head was recovered in the 90s. This discovery is the first time that archaeologists have found the original body the lamassus head was cut from. What do you think of the lamassus? Petra, Jordan. According to UNESCO, Petra is one of the most precious cultural properties of man's cultural heritage. In 2007, the place was voted one of the new 7 wonders of the world. So, what's in Petra? What's so important and mysterious about it? Petra is the ruins of an ancient city in the Middle East. The city had been inhabited by the Edomites since 1200 BCE, but centuries later, an Arab tribe known as the Nabateans occupied the city and made it the capital of their kingdom. It was the Nabateans who built the ancient tombs, arenas, and buildings that Petra is now known for. The ruins of the city have a particular Hellenistic tinge to them, and the craftsmanship, even centuries later, shows that the people of the city must have been extremely advanced. Perhaps that's why some conspiracy theorists have argued that the city was built by aliens, not humans. Do you think aliens built Petra? Palmyra, Syria. The ruins of Palmyra in Syria are some of the most magnificent and mysterious ruins you're likely to see on Earth. The city changed hands numerous times throughout history, and eventually came under Roman rule in the 3rd century AD. The magnificent pillars, expansive Senate buildings, and elaborate tombs in the city are perfect examples of incredible Middle Eastern architecture. The statue of Al-Lat, also recovered from the area, shows the incredible skill that sculptures of Palmyra had. Unfortunately, the city was reduced to a village after a raid in the 14th century AD. It was only rediscovered in the 19th century. Who knows how many things have been stolen or hidden in that period? What do you think of Palmyra? Persepolis, Iran. Persepolis in Iran is a ruined ancient city that will shock everyone who lays eyes on it. The ruins contain many colossal buildings, and all of them are constructed with dark, grey marble. 15 of the pillars of the city still stand erect today. That's remarkable for a city that was built in the 6th century BC, which is about 2,600 years from today. The inscriptions recovered from the site tell the story of an extremely developed city where wage earners were paid and intellectual pursuits flourished. Unfortunately, Persepolis was eventually destroyed by Alexander the Great after a drunken stupor. Do you agree with what Alexander the Great did? Jerash, Jordan Jerash used to be a flourishing civilization. The city was successful and rich during the Hellenistic and Roman periods. However, a mysterious and sudden earthquake in Galilee destroyed parts of the city. Thankfully, it was built just after the 11th century AD. But that was before Baldwin II of Jerusalem invaded and destroyed the city completely. The city's pillars, tombs, and magnificent arches are the only remains that remind us of a once thriving civilization in the area. What do you think caused the Jerash earthquake? Susa, Iran. Susa is one of the oldest settlements in the Middle East. According to carbon dating evidence, we know that people started living in the area as far back as 4,395 BC. That's more than 6,000 years ago. To put this in context, humans only discovered agriculture 12,000 years ago. During this period, the world's population was only a little above 30 million. Today, it's 7 billion. The artifacts and sculptures recovered from the ruins are some of the earliest pieces of evidence we have of human ingenuity. Why do you think Susa got populated so early in human history? Byblos, Lebanon. Byblos is even older than Susa, and archaeologists believe it was first inhabited in 8000 BC. At that point, there were no more than 7 million human beings on Earth. Astonishingly, the area has been continuously inhabited since 5000 BC. It's yet to be abandoned, despite its magnificent ruins. The stones of its ancient temples and courtyards remain standing and have merely been built around modern buildings. Who knows? Byblos may remain standing even 8,000 years from today. Why do you think Byblos has never been abandoned? Al-Ukhaidir Fortress, Iraq. The Al-Ukhaidir Fortress is a large rectangular fortress erected in 775 AD with a unique defensive style. The purpose of the fortress isn't exactly clear. Many historians speculate that it was either a defensive structure, a desert palace, or a combination of both. The tunnels and secret passageways in the fortress are so mysterious that historians are at a loss as to what use they had for the dwellers of the fortress. What do you think the fortress was built for? Apamea, Syria. Apamea was an ancient Greek and Roman city. The ruins of Apamea are notable for having the Great Colonnade. The colonnade ran for nearly 2 kilometers, making it the longest in the Roman world and Roman theater. This makes it one of the largest surviving theaters in the Roman Empire. It has an estimated seating capacity of about 20,000. The city was conquered and rebuilt many times, but it eventually met its end at the hand of a great earthquake, like many other cities of its ilk. What do you think about the Great Colonnade? These ancient sites and archaeological discoveries in the Middle East hold a wealth of mystery and historical significance. From the mysterious faces of Mount Nemrut to the unknown scripts of Ebla, the abandoned city of Ephesus, and the ancient city of Ur, each place offers a window into the region's rich history. Göbekli Tepe's megalithic structures pose questions about their purpose, while Hegra in Saudi Arabia carries the reputation of being cursed. The headless lamassu sculpture's discovery sheds light on Assyrian culture. Petra's remarkable architecture has led to speculations of alien involvement, and Palmyra's ruins continue to awe. Persepolis reveals the advanced ancient city destroyed by Alexander the Great. The Jerash earthquake, Baldwin the Coup's invasion, and Susa's early settlement intrigue us. Byblos's continuous habitation and the enigmatic Al-Ukhaidir Fortress add to the region's history. Lastly, Apamea's Great Colonnade and Roman theater showcase ancient grandeur and the impact of natural disasters on these cities. These sites invite us to explore the depths of human history and the enduring mysteries that captivate us. There are still hundreds of ancient wonders, mystery stories we are willing to uncover on Mystery Unity. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe so you don't miss them. See you in the next video.